Hi, my name is Matthew Parsons. I'm an assistant professor at Memorial University in Newfoundland. And I grew up here in Newfoundland, was born and raised here in Newfoundland, did a postdoc in Vancouver at the University of British Columbia, and then returned just over 3 years ago to start a position as assistant professor here in the Division of Biomedical Sciences within the Faculty of Medicine. My lab really focuses a lot on excitatory neurotransmission in the brain and how neural activity leads to long-term changes in synaptic strength of synaptic mechanisms of synaptic plasticity. And what we do, we use a lot of different biosensors to understand how glutamate dynamics are regulated in the brain, both in the healthy brain but also in various neurodegenerative diseases. We're particularly interested in Huntington's disease and Alzheimer's disease, and looking at very early stages of these diseases to understand the synaptic dysfunction that's associated with these diseases prior to cell death and overt symptom onset. I was trained initially as an electrophysiologist, and over the last number of years I've started incorporating more imaging into my skill set. So we do a lot of electrophysiology, including field potential recordings, whole cell patch clamping. We do some multi-electrode array recordings, and more recently we've been doing a lot of high-speed wide-field imaging of biosensors of glutamate and calcium, and then combining these two modalities to get a better understanding of glutamate and calcium regulation and synaptic currents in disease states. I chose Scientifica's HyperScope mostly for the modular design, really. I think this is a system that's really built for electrophysiologists and individuals who are really wanting to incorporate imaging into electrophysiology. I love the idea that it can handle that second scan path for simultaneous photostimulation. The modular design really allows us to incorporate our slice work. We also do some work in fixed sections that would be cover slipped, and we can go back and forth between the acute slice preparation and the fixed preparation very easily. In the future, I want to keep the option open to an in vivo setup, so I really like the idea that this system allows us to do that. It seems like the upgrades are quite easy. It's really cool to have this opportunity to bring the first multiphoton system to Newfoundland and Labrador. There's a lot of great research going on here. We had tremendous success in the latest round of CIHR, one of our national funding agencies. And this kind of infrastructure will really be heavily used by my lab, but it will also be open to anybody else here at Memorial that's interested in collaborating. I know all of the neuroscientists around are very excited to have this here now as part of our infrastructure. I know there's a number of individuals in cancer research. One person has developed a three-dimensional cell culture model of breast cancer. She's been having a lot of trouble imaging throughout the entire depth of that sample, so she's super excited to get this multiphoton work on board. Another person wants to do some 3D imaging of brain tumors, and just the infrastructure has not been there. So I think bringing this here will see an immediate impact on not only our research, but the research quality from other researchers at MUN, as well as the quality of our grant applications. I think it will increase the competitive nature of our grants. Most of what we'll be using the HyperScope for, initially it'll be a lot of use in acute slices, so combining electrophysiology with high-speed imaging of glutamate and calcium biosensors. So we have been doing a lot of this biosensor imaging using wide-field microscopy, and that's been working really well, but I can't help but feel that we're missing a lot of detail that's happening at the single cell and subcellular levels. And that's where this will take us to look, because we're really interested in what's happening, what are the earliest events or abnormalities that are happening in this neurodegenerative diseases like Huntington's and Alzheimer's disease. And I do feel that we're missing some of these early events with the wide field imaging because we're only getting a large population response. And I feel that by looking at the individual synapse level and at the level of individual cells, we'll be able to detect abnormalities well before those that we see with wide field imaging.